Hello, welcome to PTSD video. It's been a minute. It's been a while. Sanjo, Marla, Dio.
Yeah, Dio, right there in the background. Say, hey guys, we know that we have been on here for a while. So looking back into last year, quick recap. It's been about 60 days, 2 months since we've done our last video and posted it up. And we're just gonna be honest with you, life has happened. A lot of things have happened since the last time we did a video. We encountered several holidays, and the last video we did was a holiday video. And that was Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. All these three holidays just happened.
Yeah.
And you know what? With PTSD, for me particularly, all these holidays have some traumatic thing attached to them. It's really, and it's these ninja assaults on my psyche happen when you least expect it, and sometimes I just run with the emotion during these holidays, and where most people feel an influx of happiness and excitement and looking forward to gathering with family, cooking, not to mention the stress. I feel an influx of anger, frustration, hatred, and resentment, and just being knocked back to those times and places that, trigger these events. Because the holidays, happy memories for some people, and for those with PTSD, postpartum, or anything like that, any stress that you've endured in your life, if it happened around a holiday, it's a seasonal thing. As the winds blow, you're going to feel that feeling again. It's just going to come, and it's, like I said, it's like a ninja.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for some people. Not always for everybody.
Right.
That song is so false.
And I think that song was honestly written so that way it kind of forced people to get out of the negative thing. Trying to say it's the most wonderful time, get you excited, move you towards it, when it really isn't. I mean, Christmas is extremely stressful. Yeah. It's like fake it till you make it kind of song, So
to be honest, there were a couple times where we sat down to do this, and we ended up getting in a huge argument.
Oh my goodness, it was enormous.
Huge fight, and so we let pettiness get in the way. We're just being real here, okay? This is Lifestyle by Marla, PTSD, and this was real life. So we're not really hiding anything. We're just not in a mindset or a place to do it. But you know what? This year, the word that God gave me is all in. And what that means to us is like pushing past the uncomfortable conversations, pushing past the uncomfortable feelings of, I just don't want to do it. I'm not in a place to help people. Well, really, what we're finding is when you're in that vulnerable place, and when you're in that place of like, not feeling it, that's also when you can reach out to other people, because it's not about you. Like, it's not about us. Like, when we stop and we're just like, I'm not going to do this for anybody else because I'm uncomfortable, well, that's putting a damper on who you can reach. So we are committing to a video a week this year.
Right. So this, like you said, pushing through. Okay. Now, a lot of us have been in these environments that generated this PTSD feeling. But if you're a mother giving birth, you went to postpartum, you push through, literally. Yeah. Some of you, or where it was ripped out of your body. Either way, you got some creature came out of you.
Creature, right? A baby came out of you.
No, not the way you were yelling when you were going through the labor process. Woosah did not work.
No, it did not.
Yeah. But whatever the event was, you actually pushed through that event, went through postpartum, and at some point you kept on going, even though it was difficult, to where you loved holding your baby, wherever it is, you got past it, or you got to learn how to cope with it. Right? So, and then you started adapting to that way of life and that new lifestyle and acclimating to it. Well, same thing with those who've gone through traumatic events in other aspects such as war, firefighting, first responder, even marital things that have come up, spousal fights and arguments, everything, if you keep pushing through and not staying stagnant.
Right. And that's the message for today, really, is like pushing through and not just staying stuck. Like, this is a new year, not only a new year, but a new decade, a whole new decade. Some of you are hanging on to stuff that happened 10 years ago, last decade, like the decade before last decade. You're hanging on to stuff, and I get some things are traumatic, some things are, but you gotta start letting go. You've got to start releasing things, and you've got to just start living life in a whole new way. And that is facing the uncomfortable situations and really confronting some things in your life.
Okay, so the analogy with that I always associate when we were talking about grudges from 10 years ago, issues from 10 years that you don't let go, okay? Is it easier to run with a backpack full of rocks or holding a rock, or is it easier to run without it? Dropping the bag, dropping the rock, and how much further can you get? How much more freedom can you experience when you're not holding on to that stuff? Does that mean you forget it? No, that rock, that bag, that boulder, whatever is a mile marker. It's a reminder to, okay, this is what happened here. How can I improve? How can I do better? But it's no way a form of bettering your life if you hold on to it.
Right.
Because it doesn't hurt anybody else but you. You're the one suffering from it because you're the one who can't let go of it.
Right. You're letting people and situations live rent-free in your mind for decades. Some of us, like, we have gotten so comfortably broken. We've gotten so comfortably, messed up in the head because of this situation, and we're comfortable with it. We don't want to release that because now it's a comfort blanket for us. It's an excuse for us to not face things. It's an excuse for us to be secluded, and it's an excuse. And if you want to live your best life, I'm telling you, you have got to step out of that comfort zone, and you've got to move forward.
That kid is singing his own song.
He is.
And that's absolutely right. It's like we put on this shell, and we're like this turtle. We only stick out the head, arms, and legs, and maybe a tail from here and out. But whenever things get rough,
I have a turtle.
Whenever things get rough, we or whatever is happening, because we've held onto this bitterness as our safety blanket, we retreat back into it, and we use that shell, that barrier as the excuse and justification. Well, people don't understand me. People don't know what I'm going through. PTSD. No one's going to understand what you went through. Even if you went through the same exact thing or at the same exact place, you experience something different. Some people come out of it like, whatever. No dust off their shoulders. Some people like, oh my God, that was extremely traumatic. Like, I'll never be right again. They're just mentally broken, right?
Right.
So.
And same with postpartum depression. We all go through things, like we've all, if you've been through postpartum depression, then it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as what she went through, but it's relatable, but it's something that you've got to talk through, and you've got to find a place and find a person. And for me, that person was going to cognitive therapy, releasing that to somebody else who is not judging me, to somebody else who wasn't saying just get over it. It was good job, bud. But it was putting yourself in a position where you're vulnerable, but you're still healing. You're not just, sometimes we make friends with people who are so happy with letting us stay stuck. Yeah. Or we make friends with, really, it's an enemy. We're making friends with somebody who's like, oh, I am so sorry. You know what? You should be angry at that. Like, you should just, and it doesn't help us move forward. It doesn't help us, confront the situation.
Put it down.
Our boy is very mobile.
Yeah, this toddler, this boy is like the typhoon, this destruction force of 4 kids in one. He has a no good
swing. He swings his arms like this. Like, what else could I get into?
Literally into everything. And it's like, oh my God, do I even have patience to do it? My own crap and not damage this child in the process. Like, he's everywhere. Like, he's what you see him right now.
He has a fly swatter right now.
All right, so
Kill the flies.
it's extremely important to make sure you surround yourself with positive people. Find someone that you approve of their lifestyle, right? That's better than where you are, and that's where you want to be, right? And you hang around with that person. If you have that friend, that family and relative, that person who challenges you, who's gone through something similar or whatever the case may be, but they're moving towards a better way of life, right? You hang around with those people. Don't hang around with the people who are negative. Because sometimes negative people want to keep other people from finding freedom because it makes them feel better because you're in that same pool with them and you're boiling, you're dying, you're freezing, whatever. They don't want you getting out. They don't want you having that freedom. They don't want you experiencing it because then it shines a light on them and their behavior.
Right.
And be like, well, they don't want to feel like, well, I could do better, but
misery loves company.
The truth.
Misery loves company.
Now, do we have the answers? No. Have we figured it out? No. 60 days of it proves to anybody that we struggle. All right. We're doing these new things. We're trying these new ways to overcome out of these situations. We're unwilling to stay stuck. All right. So all in just means pushing through the situation.
Right.
Don't get stuck. Don't get harbored down. It's a new year.
Yeah.
Experience a new you, apply and make some changes, and make sure it's like a 90-day effort, not no 2 weeks. My girls are like, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Anyways, none of that garbage, because 2 weeks doesn't do anything. 30 days, but at 30 days you are beginning to understand the habit. Right. 60 days, you're altering and changing some things. By 90 days, it's regular for you. Okay, so. These are going to be challenges. Yeah. All in means you're going to put forth your best effort. Right.
Getting uncomfortable, getting unstuck, getting to a place where you are finding freedom. Like I really believe that 2020 is your year to find freedom in your health, in your finances, in your marriage, in your mindset. 2020 is your year to find that freedom. And you can't do that when you're comfortable and when you're comfortable with being stuck. When you keep doing the same habits over and over again, you are never going to find that freedom. And then it takes getting out of yourself. It takes getting uncomfortable. It takes that, and we've had to have a lot of conversations in the past 60 days of getting uncomfortable. We've had to face a lot of things. PTSD related and other things that we had to face it. And that's what I want you to do. That's what we want you to do this year is get uncomfortable, face the things that are it might not be conventional. It might not be the way that you want to go. It might not be the thing that you're prepared to do, but having those conversations even with yourself, being uncomfortable and saying, listen, snap out of it. I got to get out of my funk.
Okay, so remember that PTSD is a timestamp of something traumatic that happened to you. Right. Post-traumatic disorder, postpartum, all that stuff is a stamp of a time and a place. Right. Okay, that is the definition of being stuck. Okay, something traumatic happened at this time and you can't get over it. Yeah. All right, so this new year all in means getting unstuck. And unstuck simply means going out there to talk to a psychiatrist. Right. That's moving out, starting to wade through it, not getting stuck in this quicksand of depression of this timestamp that you're in, and then you get drowning in it. All right. Do something to reach out to get that help you need, and that is progress. And I'll also add, your progress doesn't have to look like other people's progress. Your progress doesn't have to, sometimes people, they say, well, you're not moving forward because they have an idea of what moving forward looks like, or they have an idea of what something looks like. Preach it. And you have got to remain in the mindset of I am moving forward. I'm not leveling up to them. I'm not trying to live up to their standard, but I am moving forward and I see the progress. I see how far I've come. I've seen you, because a lot of people are going to judge you. A lot of people are going to be like, well, you had this issue last year.
Who cares? If you feel like you're moving forward and you're taking the realistic, honest steps to move forward, then you are going to see that progress, and you have to celebrate that progress.
And that is the absolute truth, guys. And listen, this has just been a quick shorty.
Yep.
Just wanted to encourage you, give you a little bit up to date, and we will continue doing these things, because all in for us is putting forth that effort, no matter what the situation is.
It might look ugly sometimes.
Yeah,
okay?
honestly, you will see real facial expressions, all right? Real things, struggles going through. And we're gonna, we might work through it while talking to you.
Yes.
But that's what all in is struggling through it
together
to the end. All right. So hey, make sure you are moving forward at whatever that looks like for this new year. 90 days.
Yes.
Okay. Make that commitment. 90 days, and we will talk to you next time. Again, as with everything else, leave a comment, post, share, invite other people to this, and we will continue on this. All right. This is just to help you guys out, and honesty therapy for us.
Yeah, but we don't have the answers. We are still working through it. We're a work in progress.
So we're with you in the same boat, just making a little step at a time.
All right.
Good luck, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.